Good evening. Want to stream earlier today, around 1:30 or something. However, I was caught up making yogurt, which sounds kind of strange, but I had to heat it up in a pot. And it just was taking so long to heat up. Don't want to heat it up too quickly, and oh crap! And I know I'm too tired to really play anything else. I just feel like I don't know, playing some Disco Elysium. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a new day, new dawn. What's the rest? Oh, I get to finally talk to Titus and his boys. No alcohol tonight, really, but
morning.
Good morning.
Looks like we can get to work at once. The Union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them.
Oh, what do you mean?
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly
they're just
about the RCM being here.
hardened boys, you know.
By the Union. These men here. Men who drink beer for breakfast. There's talk of an armed wing of the Union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them.
Just what? Okay, armed wing union called the Hardy Boys. They don't really seem like union type, though. I don't know.
That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay?
Oh.
One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk
really undervalued as policemen in this world, I guess.
Good. A power move. Purposefully concentrate on something else first. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
I don't think it really matters either way. Let's talk to this.
Just a moment. And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear. Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working.
I didn't think they had a phone line.
The Union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too. To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night. But they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them.
Jim, why don't we
I was also hoping she'd
allow her to use the radio, maybe?
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
That's this isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully. You have more important things to worry about.
Well,
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare...
Oh, yeah. He's at the end. I think, maybe? Maybe. I don't know.
But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
The water lock. That was broken. Could this be it?
They're probably just
Oh
stuck.
my. What happened to the water lock?
Well, the corporation wants to investigate the lorry drivers and...
Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. To both of you. You've spared me another sleepless night.
You're welcome.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast,
But you will.
please do keep an eye out for my husband.
And we will.
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect. Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation.
And if you see
Thank
him,
you.
let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired. And it's cold out there. Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie. Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin. Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious like the small boys. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
Gentle with his
Grown
hands.
men
Really
hands.
good with
If you
his
want to
hands.
find her husband, you'll need more. It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
Let's try again. If I were to meet him, what would I look for?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame. And he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The
He's-
lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case. I hope I've been useful.
What else do we do? Still need to figure out that lorry situation. This is why I studied.
Let me handle this.
You seem a little different today. Less hospitable.
You are far from home, Lieutenant. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
Not a muscle moves in her face, but her eyes trace yours, stern and perceptive.
You are looking for Titus Hardy, who you think has information on a murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him.
Yes.
That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
Oh, that really puts us.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
Obviously, I'm a lawyer. A legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. I would urge you to consider what you say to my clients.
You're so good. She's just a fucking lawyer. I don't know. It's just what she does. She's making sure you don't pull any shady shit. I want to talk to you, not.
What are we going to do to you? The union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime syndicate. It is a labor organization.
I don't know about that. Sometimes it really feels like more like a mob or a mafia or something like that.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress.
Alright, just fucking talk to Titus. Hey, how's it going,
This
Titus?
is where you say your bit.
Detective,
Beer can, and it's 7, 8 in the morning. Back to
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that won't.
You're sure taking your time, waiting for him to get ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Oh, he was a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell.
Time to go to work in the shit factory!
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them. I mean, I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match. Starting from the right, boot size 44, blonde man, in his 30s, overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right, standard working boots, size 45 or 46, eldest in the room.
I don't know how you can remember all this.
Smoker, quiet, across at the other table, hobnailed working boots, size 43, gang tattoos, Mesk or Sarah Mauritian, in his late 30s, early 40s, and then standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 46. The
Big dick.
wide
Big dick
at the shoulders
Titus.
and lean at the hips, rugby cap, fingerless gloves, and numerous scars, a little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum? On his neck. Forget it. Let's call this one the musician. Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a
What
round
about-
face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing.
There were 8 boots, right? Or 8 pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's one missing. I believe that the one missing is the one with the odd
In
step.
the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy, boot size 46, deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He alone is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime
One of
scene.
them is missing the odd soul.
footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy. Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella? What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy boy? We ain't hiring.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe... Shut the fuck up!
I do the talking here. Now what the fuck?
Oh,
do you
who's
want,
she?
cop?
Who's the she?
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks so too.
so let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And you're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm
That's the
watching
right.
you.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny. A But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Container belt, like we use in the harbor? Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We did this together.
Ah, so you just
All a
confessed to murder.
goddamn ride.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys.
That's a subtle threat right there. Like she knows, or they all know, we can't take them all in a fight or anything like that if we choose to arrest them unless we get back. Which Kitsuragi said we can't.
Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
No, but seriously, who calls the shots? Don't have to.
Who do you fucking think does?
The big dick.
That's right, asshole.
I think you got your answer, Mr.
No, you did not get an answer. Titus does administrative work. He pushes paper, fills out forms, the others can't read. But on that night, they all acted as one man.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town. And he stepped out of line.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Boy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade, right here in our bar.
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
Right, but what did he actually...
Wrong? He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation? He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you do.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. That was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grab one of ours mid-karaoke.
You sure that wasn't this guy?
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl. Young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got around. Aren't you fucking listening?
There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
No. You're not getting a name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not discussing it with
It's
you.
a crime, so it is my matter, but you
Despite the
still...
stonewalling, you can slip one more question in.
Titus, do not answer. You have been forthcoming enough.
Fuck off, Carl. She's gone through enough without you harassing her too. She doesn't need more embarrassment.
What are you talking about? Embarrassment. If someone has been sexually assaulted, we need to...
What you need is to get the fuck out of my face. I've had enough of explaining myself to you fucks. He's dead. It's done.
It is
As
done.
you can see, these men can only take so much baseless scrutiny. I'm doing my best to keep the situation civil, but
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus, you don't have to clarify anything.
We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck, and hanged him till he was dead and steady.
Then we left him for seagulls, maggots, and you fucks.
Make them
Jesus.
a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up.
With numbers, asshole. How do you think? You're right, Lizzie.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar. It happened right here.
Titus
Yes!
is solid
Oh.
as a rock,
Yes.
and so are a few others. But
No.
No, I'm not having trouble breathing.
Just look at how fucking fat he is.
Hey, don't pick on
Fuck
him.
off, Shanky. Angus is a powerful guy. All muscle.
Sure,
keep
that's
your
all
eye
miss.
on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece of twig.
And fuck you too, copper. Picking on Angus like this. We're done with this schoolyard shit. And just so you know, he doesn't have trouble breathing.
His all muscle comment wasn't sarcastic. He's genuinely trying to look out for Angus. This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the murder. Not yet.
Like what, copper?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that.
Yeah.
Quiet.
To the road.
Came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? A representative for White Pines? The same company you are striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad.
Or send them to Reunion to rot.
For 20 years. For life.
What do we do? We inform. You just. I mean, it's a very gray area. But you, what they did was basically, or what they're claiming to do, have done, is very just like vigilante justice sort of ordeal. But in hindsight, would have the cops possibly done the same, a similar thing? They would have just maybe booked him, maybe not killed him, but put him in like jail or something like that. Granted, he might have like powerful friends in high places, so maybe he would have been able to get out. So we don't know. So I don't really like it. I don't like any of these. Yes, but they were all bad people, criminals, the scum of the earth. I don't like that. I never like just doing your job. Yeah, unfortunately, so I really don't like you just kill people. They didn't kill people like it was nothing. I felt this guy was obviously causing disruption in the community or whatever, and being a disturbance, I guess.
Oh, so you are just a thing.
He's clearly been in solitary confinement, and at a young age, nonetheless.
So he's hanging a man, slowly, without breaking his neck.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility, we're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Established authority. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Oh.
Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox. 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone. And so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now.
You came back because high speed gives one side. I don't really need that. Alright. Talk to me, Kim. What are you thinking? It's just... Alright. What do we do? What do we do? Let me put this back. Anything from this guy?
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up? Oh.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Can't even get a... They usually get shipped to Grodd in the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Ilmo...
The man taps his...
Ah, man. Me... What? Those days are behind me. Hey, man, that's serious...
Entrapment is a practice whereby an officer of the law...
We have a crit...
Not me, man. No way. I don't need it. Look, man.
We wouldn't say he's lying, son.
How did I figure that out? Also, we need to do that quest so we can lower the bridge and so we can get to the other island. So... Yeah, how I did that.
You see, the name?
Happy shopping office. You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang. You're right, officer. 100%. No playing around then. Strictly business. Maybe I can interest you. Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are it. That's so cool. You investigating the local drug trade like some cool narc? But I am not a lorry.
Doing my job.
I am just a street vendor.
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells...
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
Well, you might be a racist, but I still think you're a piece of shit. I think you're annoying.
No, I just said okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
So you forgot.
Exactly.
Bullshit.
You are. My life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity. No! That's insane! It's the fat hater. He's been eyeing me for a week and he sent you here. Maybe he's the one, huh? Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd? You know, the drug crowd?
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd. He doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid.
Just tell me who the fuck is transporting this.
Look, there's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I've spent 15 years working my way up.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
Have to give us a read.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady. I don't know. Maybe if she...
It could be. She was strange. He's not ruling her out.
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now?
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detective.
No need
Damn.
to mess this one up. Just tell.
Oh, okay. But
I
why,
could come
officer?
out to ask you. I need my.
Ah, yeah.
Are you trying to?
Sorry, detective.
Yeah, fuck it. Persuade. Alright, let's talk to the guy with tattoo.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind? I don't want to talk about that.
Mm.
Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is. I did, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
He still is. Hoping. It's true. We would of course lie. But a kind heart is tricky. Ah, emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That's a fact.
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why.
What gives him the doubt that she is the one trafficking drugs?
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know.
Ah,
She was the
fucking.
only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Died. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
We can't just let it go.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's trouble. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you.
Says she's troubled.
She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
Come on, man. Like, I was told everyone's afraid.
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind. Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are...
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. The grey-haired woman. Maybe she knows something. Wait, this guy says they're friends. Then, acquaintances. And he's okay with others ratting her out. Push Tommy and it will break his heart. And his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals.
Thank you, friend.
We're looking for another right.
Kingdom of Conscience. The Kingdom of Conscience will be exactly as it is now. Moralists don't really have beliefs. Sometimes they stumble on one, like on a child's toy left on the carpet. The toy must be put away immediately, and the child reprimanded. Centrism isn't change, not even incremental change. It is control over yourself and the world. Exercise it. Look up at the sky, at the dark shapes of the coalition airships hanging there. Ask yourself, Is there something sinister in moralism? And then answer, no. God is in his heaven. Everything is normal on earth.
God is in heaven, all is right with the world. That's it. That. I don't know, is a reference to Evangelion? But, yeah, I mean, something about having control over yourself and having, you know, personal responsibility or that is like, you know, your power. I don't know. What is it? You don't always have control over the outside world, obviously, but you have control over how you sometimes perceive it and how you react. That is the foundation of like stoicism and stuff like that. But you know, I don't know how else to really describe that, to be honest. And that is like kingdom of consciousness. You know, if we try to take responsibility for our control as what for ourselves, each individually, you know, across the board, that would lead to a better world.
You caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather keeps me away. Did you just call me a lady, Herife?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I'm not that either, Herife. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It doesn't work like that on the long haul. I'm only terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me.
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was. The big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there. It's all just... In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway. It takes all the people where they want to stay.
In the background, a quiet song seeps from her cabin into the air.
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other commoners sniffing around when I have my movies to go to? Oh, sim.
Something in her is pulling towards some unknown rest state. She twitches like a sea kick.
Alright, let's talk to the fat racist guy, unfortunately. Don't.
Looking for something odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again? I don't know what you're talking about. He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another lorryman's job. Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
Actually, we do.
No. He means La Puta Madre.
A legendary, and not in a good way, crime boss from Jamrock. Controls what is probably the most powerful organized crime outfit in Revachol West. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Yeah, him.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
The lieutenant adopts a rodentine quality. Be cool, sire. He's getting into this.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is.
He's surprisingly good at this. Not bad at all. Look at him lurching.
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Oh shit.
You wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I've softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job.
They can't save. Oh, crap.
The main thing is to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important...
What? What do you think we're doing? There's some kind of homo thing?
Why was that half-light written? Oh, it's written people. Fuck. I'm not. Look at that goofy smile. I'm not intimidating. Maybe.
Make me runt.
Let's just go and ask Tommy, alright? We are wasting our time here.
Where's Tommy? I need magnesium. I damaged my morale. I'm getting too sad.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal.
Okay, here. Okay, here. I hope Saint Batiste makes you feel better or something.
I'm feeling sad. Yeah. Okay. Who was Tommy? Is this Tommy?
Now it's turning into a kind of a what? But I told you she's my friend. Please don't make me give her up, detective. Get someone else. There's a ton of drivers here. Fine. I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt too. You're not going to put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man.
Imagine it, an explosion of stars. Goodbye world of men, money, and machines.
Why'd that dog come up? Punch isn't good.
Thank you, friend.
There's probably no other way now that I failed that. Unfortunate. I'm assuming we can't talk to Claire, the Wild Pines lady.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons.
I failed a lot of, you know... Who's this guy? Who are you? What are you doing here?
Yes? Hello? Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read.
Good.
It is. I know you are.
Everyone can see that. The rectangles.
Good then. Do you need help?
What with? My husband? No, he's not. I don't know. At home.
Where is this going, officer?
So what I'm hearing is you don't really know where you're...
Yes, but I don't really need to know where my husband is. Not all the time. No.
So I can totally help you.
Why are we still talking about this?
She has the husband is totally lost. You should tell her that it's okay.
What?
It's alright now. Nothing she...
Who said anything about shame? Stop talking down to me. My husband is not missing.
But he is. You can feel it. Or maybe it's something else then.
No, absolutely not. Are you a policeman or a nanny?
And where are they? Police, whatever, where are they?
They are not missing, sir.
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance.
What? That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine. They're almost grown up now anyway.
I'm afraid that I'm just fucking gaslighting her. This poor lady. Don't you know where your husband is? Why wouldn't you know where your husband is? Is he cheating? How would you know?
My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Jenny, she is turning 18 next month. But we shouldn't even be talking about... Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeated? There is no...
Kim's just standing there like...
Okay, it must be asked then. What are you doing here? Why are you pursuing the...
I don't mean...
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get ladies. It's better to indulge him at this point.
Is it missing?
I don't even have a cockatoo.
Thanks for backing me up again.
It's a trap. Never ever say what.
Great. Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so interested.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
Please,
I don't care.
let's do.
Her hands move over the book. The woman before.
What the fuck was the point of that? It's just a rat. Seeing a woman with questions and gaslighting her. Poor lady.
There must be another way to do the bidding.
But weird. Like his dialogue so wise or whatever.
A sturdy metal. This could be a way into the apartment building the smoking man vanished into.
Good. We had enough problems with bums and drunks and thieves loitering in the hallway. You have no business here.
You're well versed in the kind of threatening legalese that implies criminal liability, but in fact...
I know my rights.
I know my rights.
Miss, would it help if we offer to show you our badges?
It's like a carrot to the stick, sort of.
Hold your horses. I don't care about your stick.
I don't have my badge. I don't have my badge. I don't have my badge. Just had a... Yeah, can I check the mailbox? Maybe they give me my badge back?
The dented yellow mailbox grew. The box seems happy. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes. The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Bétancourt sur la Clé in 42. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Oranese pharmaceutical companies in the Seminine conflict. So, it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the armor was issued.
What are they called now?
The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Trinell, and the one before it was Downwell. I think they might be the same contractor.
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
Hard to say. The client list is rather diverse and incomplete. The only constant seems to be that the mercenaries are always deployed in third and fourth world countries. Yes, but
what's a fourth world country?
I could try to talk them into it, though.
This is a fun challenge for her, an opportunity to contribute beyond doing her job by rote. She'll gladly put in the extra effort for Team RCM.
Glad to help. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more for you then.
How do I get my badge back?
57.
In the cabin, you...
I mean, if I go through that door, it's just gonna, like... She ain't nothing to me. Woo! I'll try and get in. I don't feel like talking to her. What's in here? Money!
You hear someone walking. The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes. You can feel tension on the other side. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
Do I have to open the door? Did you have a warrant?
Come back with a warrant.
Open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason.
Yeah, fair enough. Granted, we are kind of just like asking around questions, probably. Ooh, yeah. Flip up glasses. Oh, yay. It would give me less authority, but +1 logic. That's the exit. This is the balcony. We want to go to the balcony. Ah! We can arrest you now for vandalizing.
The piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves. But here you are.
You're in trouble now, Leo. That's right. We've involved.
Yeah, you got me now. The dynamic between us has completely changed.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil.
Red-dyed heavy fuel oil, intended for exclusive use in government vehicles, to be precise.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock.
She really did it. She's proud of it too.
Fumes are bad for you, okay?
Something to think about next time you're driving around.
Yeah, I guess we don't really care. Oop. Oh. What was back there? Ooh, a shovel. Pants. Reaction speed, election. Ooh, I can bolt cutters. Maybe. There we go. Yeah. Mark. I'm smart. Well, we got to this balcony, but we can't.
Ruination has come. The broken arches betray the once grand history of this building. It towered over the harbor until it happened. A great force from the northeast fired into the city. Heavy artillery shelled the coastline. Fired from the water. A straight shot into Revachol. The tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling until it was destroyed, and they had a direct firing line. Those arches acted as support for something greater than what you see now. Only 3 stories stand where 9 to 12 once did. Restoration has failed. What the waves of the Martinez Inlet roll over the fallen remains of the building. The dark waters obscure the better part of the remains. What didn't fall into the ocean was used as scrap. What wasn't used as scrap was thrown into the ocean. A fleet, the combined armies of Occident and Grad, with Mesk volunteers, a 5-nation army, hundreds.
Not a 7-nation army. Hundreds.
They massed airships further down in the Bay of Revachol. The artillery was so powerful. The ships not only required gyroscopic stabilization, they were anchored into the ocean floor as well. Many are still there to this day. If you squint, you can just barely see the shadow on the water.
The Coalition. But that was a long time ago. I think we should move on. It's chilly up here.
He does not like talking politics of this kind.
Not really a fun topic. Think about, how many lives were lost and how much damage was done. Where did we get? Okay, here we go. Just the door, nothing. And interact with any of the doors. What about that guy that was smoking outside, talking about his Sunday friend? Thought we could use something up here. Money! Does this help? Probably not. Need a key. Wait a second, what did... Didn't we fucking need to get something from Everett? Do our job, or do the thing that he wanted us to do, like... Yeah. I'll go talk to him again.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper...
That's probably the door Efrat mentioned.
Okay, no,
I
this...
need to get the key from this manana first, though.
I need to talk to the old lady. I was hoping to avoid that because I don't have my badge.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis. I already told you I don't care about any badges. I'm fine.
You're still worried. It's very worrying.
Now, what do you want from me, police?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
Yes, yes. I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for? Talk?
What was so funny about that?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony.
Okay, we had to know where.
Doors there.
Even though
It's
we
usually
probably
home in the evening.
saw him walk into the.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony.
Ask away, policeman. No one lives there. It's been empty for months. Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there. Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you? Great. Young people. They're worse than rats.
Damn youngins.
Trinkets and empty beer cans. Some lunatic lost his mind. All kinds of morons pass through these halls.
With how small these rooms are, wouldn't you want to break the wall down?
The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still, she leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
She mumbles some kind of a response.
I'm no one. It's better.
She hasn't spoken to anyone.
Okay. Well, she might not be this. Whatever the fuck.
Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught.
Damn.
You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will.
Damn,
that's right.
Probably right.
These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it.
Oh, God, accept our faults if we want to grow. What was room 10?
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, no reply, no reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it. The lieutenant is concentrated on the hallway, scanning both ways for any approaches. What are you doing?
I believe it's...
He's just trying to help. Don't take it bad. Relax.
Perhaps you should give it another go.
What are you?
God damn it!
I believe it's the
He's just trying to help. Don't.
Perhaps you should give it another go.
No, 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 no.
You hear someone walking around in...
Excuse me? Of course not.
You have plenty of reason to enter.
Oh, come on.
Well, that was easy.
That was smart.
Let's go. Who are you?
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
Creepy as fucking smell.
Her voice is really cheerful, despite her obviously hating you.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, along with all her personal details.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour. I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place.
Which is I mean, yeah, it's not in perfect shape, I guess. I fucked shit up too. Wow. It's like thinking,
It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent. But that was months ago. Anyway, is there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry. Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
The sum must have been puny. Oh, irks her. The incompetence.
These apartments are perfectly fine.
Way to sell it.
Architecture, a million-real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life, spark, and they are affordable. I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. And if you don't ask me what happened with the wall, I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both. Of course.
Ooh. There you go. Okay, look in here. You're gonna get. Ooh.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk.
God damn it. Oh. I've used that earlier, but
with a padlock. A chalk drawn number on the board says number 11.
I used that earlier.
Give me a moment. I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them.
The ex-woman's sexual need. That's all calm.
Yes. Well. I hope they're good people.
Your statements are too vague to comment on.
Let me make sure I use it. Oh, does it still use only one at a time?
This door has been...
I want to put it in interfacing, but that's just for like right now. Like locks and pocket. Oh, maybe I can. I can put points in half-light and open the other thing up again. Definitely. Apply makes you ultra attuned to the world. It is perpetual fear of your own shadow, of someone else's name or scent. There you go. Let's save game. I don't even know if I can actually repeat that check. But we really need that. Figure out that the lorry ordeal. Get to the other island, I believe.
There. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right? Cracked it. All in a good day's work.
Open and shut. Yeah, I don't even.
What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is. Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class. Didn't she repeatedly tell you her husband? But he is missing. You heard her. The worry in her voice.
Give me champagne.
There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit. Go and tell the working class woman.
Oh my god. Found your husband.
I already told you. My husband isn't missing.
That you didn't know where he was.
And I specifically... Very well then. Where is he? Excuse me?
There's something else hiding in her voice, though.
Right, because working class women come with alcoholic husbands. You know what?
Remember, about that what. Never ever say what.
I'm not saying what. Remember about what? Never ever say thing.
You were right. I do have an alcoholic husband. Although not that one. I did, and he is. No, he's not. Or maybe he is, I don't know. He's probably in the park, or in Shamrock somewhere, drinking with his friends. I haven't seen him for... Well, to hell with him.
I don't need him. You're a grown, independent woman who don't need no man who... yeah.
She sighs.
All right, go ahead. Do you have any questions? Honestly, not that different from you. Oh, thank God, no.
No, thank God, no.
He hasn't
Oh,
come down
jeez.
with this yet. Well, he's slightly chubby.
Oh.
What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket with a bright blue inner lining. The lining is hand-sewn. I made it myself. It's his cool jacket. God knows it's too cold to run around in this, but he refuses to change. I even tried throwing it away once.
I think I remember this questline. It's
Just throw
sad.
it out of the bin. Can you believe it? Well, what can you do? I hope that at least that extra lining helps him keep warm at night. I wouldn't like him to catch cold.
She's thinking about him out in the cold, in some park, or...
Yesterday morning, he went to the library. He went to retrieve my book, and he promised he'd walk straight back home. Because we talked about this. We talked about not wandering off again. I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do with his addiction. Just makes me feel weak.
Yeah, I definitely remember this now. Holy crap.
Damn, this is a missing persons case. She turns away from you.
So you are going to look for him. Thank you. Please do. Even though I'm sure he will return home by himself.
She tries to maintain a brave front, even though her eyes reveal the opposite.
I'm sure he will too. When he does, would you let Precinct 57, Kim Kitsuragi, know?
I will. Of course, officer. As I said.
Save again. Boop. Boop.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Failing the last...
No, we're doing this. I'm cheating. I'm say load spamming, whatever, you know. We're doing this. This is happening.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to...
Failing the last time was so demoralizing.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to...
Failing.
God damn it. Okay. This is happening for this one time. I'm spamming it.
Looking for something, Hunt?
Failing the last time was so demoralizing and puzzling that you just can't work up the rage anymore.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again? Looking for something, Hunt?
Men like this only respect two things: strength and fear.
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna...
Yeah, you're gonna.
His voice grows smaller as yours.
I'm gonna fuck you for the person.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. green banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even...
Now it's not a big deal for him anymore. This is how he saves face.
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now, leave me the fuck alone.
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too.
Let's fucking go.
This green found, A to Z, contemporary, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
Sorry.
He must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust.
Hit
You
the
can barely
mic.
make out the shape of the seat and 2 steering levers. The door is locked. The handle...
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside. I don't know how good it is, but this investigation has taken long enough. We can't afford it to take any longer.
This green found, A to Z, contemporary, is parked in the shadow of the roof. With a firm grip, you
Fuck
raise
yes.
the pry bar. A glint of
Fuck
light
the
catches
bull.
the tip. Call down the hammer of truth and justice. Release your secrets, lorry cabin.
Fuck the police.
Shatters and bits of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and
Dracula. Hey, we gotta keep.
Cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. It's an issue of Petit Ferique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed.
Fuck, we have to still talk to the radio lady.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least. Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable for contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation, with quite a range too.
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes. So you wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
Better from the driver's room.
Yes.
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. Looks like her, yes. Now we know for certain who is the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation? You're right. But we should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter.
You got some explaining to do.
The movie stars are still. These, one of them particularly catching. The actress is. She wasted away the actresses and you closed the rusty.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending
Is there
on
more in the
not
RCM?
anyone either.
Or not necessarily more, some corrupt RCM.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition. Debrief over.
Yep. Alright. Dr. Claire. Is her name Claire? Probably. Remember.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Yeah. Why'd they do that? I mean, then they're not working and all operations stopped. So, at what point do you just get, like, you know, wouldn't they just be like, then intruding on private property then? Company property?
Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
Rolls her eyes.
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont.
Sorry,
despite
Claire
concessions
Everett.
he
This is
granted the
Joyce.
union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no.
Fuck
There
no.
have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Call me a posturing. I don't know what to think about that.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board. It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision, about what? About anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
I mean, knowing that it's workers, that's pretty funny. Yeah.
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their
I was thinking like,
a
oh,
hard-nosed
but
tactic with a side of mockery.
what if you're
But
like
there's
a
been no follow-up, just the
shareholder
same
in the
nonsensical
company, and
slogan repeated over and over again.
granted, only not all shareholders hold votes or something for every shareholder. Although I do get some, I have some like old stocks I get, and I always get like sometimes in the mail notifying me to like vote or something, or like a big vote is happening.
Behind the whirling in rags, a disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
It also feels like the union is just stalling for something.
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates, the one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Of course. How else can I help? Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this. In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
No.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing
He can
operation.
probably
Subject to
explain it more
I'm
elegantly.
sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail. They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor. Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenel, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Marseille. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating.
Yeah. So, Wild Pine sent these mercenaries to quell the...
ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched. Lost nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenel contractors carry out their orders, for now. It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
That's say this is not disco.
It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
They would have to project strength and power.
The débardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Yeah, but 1,000 to 1 with people with semi-automatic guns and...
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's 2nd largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all. As I said, a bloodbath. It doesn't have to be like this. Nameless, badgeless officer of the citizens' militia. One single, concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob.
Vigilante justice all around, and there's no just...
They don't report their progress to you?
You know,
not on this matter. I'm afraid they can
law and order or conformity across the board. Just people taking justice into their own hands.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
If you mean did I see him alive, yes. But I did not know him. Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one. He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once. Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenage... The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the exception.
The lieutenant consults his...
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
Last Sunday night. At the
Yes, we
Whirling
did.
Rags, the hostel by the gates.
I just
Supposedly,
spilled the
man
beans
was drunk,
on that.
maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the Colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
You meet her soon enough, you feel.
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
Yeah, they're... Those are more like...
You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down. That's wise. Our goal is to avert... I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
She reaches for the photo for about half a minute in silence.
It was taken with a trigger not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent. Close. Port cities. This is an Oranese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels. Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oranese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semnes Islands, then this. Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Inter-Eastlery Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning. His platoon members? The other contractors?
Yeah,
No, I do
it
not
did.
suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
You wouldn't even know where to start.
Is there anything else I can help you with? You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
It's bloated rainbow socialist. Socialist, he's raising.
Oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or wait, actually, corruption. That's how he's done it.
Isn't that the same for all socialists?
Corruption, reaching into the bowels of the earth.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt worm. How could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
Oh. That's so helpful of him.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his jaw muscle is trembling. When I said be wacky, I didn't mean wildly, grossly irresponsible. And damaging to the RCM.
Sorry, Kim.
Conventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this to gauge their reactions. It's all part of detecting.
Oh my god, kid. I'm so sorry. Yes, I mean, my colleague is a very unconventional police officer, and you know they sometimes lose. Putting it so gently that I am
Incredible.
incompetent.
Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun? Did he now? Well, then it should be any day now. Unless, of course, he's lying.
Perhaps he is.
Did you now? What sort of borscht is he making? The strike brew. That's a classic. And by turn up the heat, I presume you mean put more alcohol in it? Why, if I may ask, why make them more drunk? Aren't they corked enough already?
Yes, detective. What were you hoping to accomplish with this strange thing?
I worship Al Ghul in many ways. Actually, I turned it off.
Beyond curious. I will choose to interpret that as you and because I don't like the idea of them. Of course, detective. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
Alrighty.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit.
Yeah, that's me. I'm in establishing my superstar.
What are you, deaf? They're perfect. like rock star politician and drug addict teacher. Embrace the superstardom you've worked so hard to establish.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop.
No,
Dick Mullen. Salem Rocky Body. Badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera. Lights. Yeah, you know. Beneath it is just heartbreak. A pulmonary tract infection. Atherosclerotic disease. This is where you say action and reconceptualize all that. Reinvent it as this is the beginning of your legend.
No. Nah, man. Alright. Not gonna live in that fantasy. So wait, he doesn't put the thing down. I thought they put it up so they can investigate the lorry drivers. But the drawbridge is still up.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. This panel usually closes the water lock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But then you pull the lever all the way up until the metal click. Nothing happens. Nothing happened. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the water lock to get across the canal. Isn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
Good morning to you, officers. It's supposed to operate the water lock, but as noted, it's all junk right now. Disabled because of the blockage. Safety measure. Turns out the panel needs a special key to be reactivated. Wouldn't want anyone moving the water lock with debris still in the channel. It'll be restarted on Wednesday morning. You want to do the honors when the time comes? Suit yourself. Just drop by on Wednesday if you want to see the water lock work.
Okay. What day is it, though? Day 2. Well, we can still talk to the other guy. But I want to... Well, we can talk to this guy to get the key. But I don't feel like doing...
How'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye. A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. Oh, so the none of the above type, are you? I get it. I like to keep my distance too. But it doesn't matter. It's a good thing you're doing. Thanks. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess. I'm more of a philosophical dog worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we
Way to
are fighting
avoid the
for.
question.
He means he's not going to tell you because he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everard. Who he is and what they're fighting for.
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you.
Is he actually comparing you, an officer of the law, to some neighborhood vigilantes? Come on, he's just trying to keep the peace.
There's only one. Let it go.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze rough.
We're negotiating our share. Aye.
Oh, okay.
All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
I got yeah, I don't want I don't care about communism or communism. So let's go to that. Also, I seem to remember last time I played this, I was able to look at all that.
What do you see? What do I then after Hoyt?
Indeed.
So far, so good.
Of course, there were 8 tracks, but there are only 7 Hardy Boys.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I doubt the Hardys are...
Yeah. Whatever. Not sure if it really matters. Probably just experience points.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head. The leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. You don't hear any movement. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. No birds chirp. You try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattling of the handle. Finally, the door unlocks with a small, only curiosity could account for stepping over that threshold. Maybe there might be important information in the...
Let's go in. Yes, Ooh, magnesium. Thank you. Stealing shit as a cops. What cops does, right?
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A brooch, a little ring. Though cheerful, there's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much.
I have no opinion on this. Typical asshole.
This person is unhappy. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
Looks like we
I'm
found...
beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash. And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues down the road. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
No.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this close in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
You could ask Everard who this person is once you're done here. This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty. This isn't just one, it's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. By old-fashioned. The flag doesn't see.
I don't really care about a flag, but... Alright, let's go see the fat communists. Loaded socialist asshole. Get that done. So I don't have the balls to do it. I get around with the seed containers. Gun back. What's to come?
Mr. Dubois, every worker... That's right, Mr. Dubois. I see the socialist democratic fervor now burns in your heart, too.
Oh, fuck no. I'm just reciting what you put on the flyer.
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
Exactly the kind of fascist memorabilia I was expecting. Weasel probably prays to it every night for the downfall of the Union.
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys.
Are they?
Wild
Are they?
Pines, sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top
You're
hat
making
against us flat caps.
erroneous demands. Ridiculous demands. And you're halting their operation. So they sent someone to use force to get you off of out of their facility. Fucking
Harry, this
idle
strike is the
socialists.
culmination of many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire? I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramoritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry.
Okay, maybe they shouldn't have gone for the hardened militant mercenaries, but I don't know, maybe tried police? I mean, I know that police wasn't supposed to work in this area, but...
Third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
Go on.
Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
Because you're too fat to move out of that chair.
About my fun container, it's but enough about one of them got...
By negotiator.
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. There's a militant wing inside the Union.
Yes, the hard boy.
They're like
Yes, is that... Yes, that is organized crime. That is what we call a mob.
Well,
or
punishment must follow.
A mafia, or whatever.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up
You
to
know
me
all
and
this,
says,
by the way.
Boss,
Already.
socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land. He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He's not worried. He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway.
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's it. Last winter, these guys...
So you...
Yada, yada, yada.
Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial... Of course. You're always one step ahead of me, Harry.
No, I'm
no
not.
genius. I'm in this position because people like me.
What a slug.
Tribunal.
He's clearly happy about the tribunal.
Oh, Harry, what do I really think about the tribunal? You're trying to climb to second base with old Everard before you've even courted him properly.
He wants you to do more things for him before.
I want my fucking gun. Ugh.
Was it a good talk? I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also... Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left. So he's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
No.
What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it? Or do you think it wants to be found? I think it's lonely and cold. I think it wants to be found, and I have a proposal for you.
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta. I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates.
You're gonna doctorate them in.
There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry. They are just going to have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. We're going to build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up, and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people. Not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour.
He means it.
I don't think.
On the coast, Harry, across the canal.
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks, it's...
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm going to hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting...
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the waterlock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then we can talk about your gun.
This
See you soon.
Oh, God, I hate this guy. What am I wearing? And closures. I mean, logic hasn't really been helping that.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum. There is no loophole. The simple truth is, the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door. Once the construction starts, it'll probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out.
I should have seen it.
Of
Eva
course.
probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone.
Hopefully.
However, we'll need access to the coast before we do anything. Evrart won't believe you got villager signatures if you can't even get to the village. You can try a forgery as soon as we can cross the waterlock.
The youth center. It's going to. This is either an ominous or cool. My money.
Piece of shit. Alright, I'm gonna end it here for tonight. Should be back tomorrow. Probably something else. For a little. Headphones. Anyways, if anyone was watching, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you come again next. Well, thank you and goodbye.